All right, so we're gonna head into footwork, and we're gonna start with a few different variations of footwork. So the purpose is to warm up the larger muscle groups, strengthen the ankles, knees, and hips, and also create pelvic stability. So the main muscle focus here is gonna be through the hamstrings and through the quads. So I'm gonna have Rochelle go ahead and lie down on her back. And I'm going to start with more of like a default setting on spring tension. So we're gonna do basically, from a balanced body perspective, 2 red springs and 1 green spring. So about 3.25 in weight. And what the first thing we want to do is we want to, again, line our client up here. So I always like to tell the client as they are lying down to double check their positioning. So Rochelle, I'm going to have you look to the right and then look to the left. And what I want them to really get familiar with, like how close are they to the shoulder block here? So you can even feel that on your own body, and the client can automatically make those adjustments for themselves. But that is also how we want to get ourselves into more symmetry here. So we're gonna start with parallel heels. So she's gonna have her heels on the foot bar here, and I'm just gonna line her up a little bit, fine tune her, and arms are down resting beside you. She's flexed through her feet. And she's gonna go ahead and take her inhale to prepare, and on the exhale, you're gonna push out to 2 straight legs, and I'm gonna have you pause right here. So this is a great opportunity for us to assess the client, because now we have them in a supine position and we can start to locate any type of like discrepancies that are occurring in their body, which could be a hip rotation, it could be an elevated shoulder, and we can just really start to identify things from all angles of the reformer. So I like to come back here and also start to see if I see any sort of discrepancies, which Rochelle's doing a really good job of keeping her good alignment. So from here, I'm gonna have you soften the knees to return back in. You're just gonna hover off that stopper, and then she's gonna press back out again. So as you continue here, go ahead and keep moving. What we're doing is we are incorporating dynamic movement. And when we think about the anatomy portion of dynamic movement, we want to maintain our neutral spine position. So what I'm identifying on Rochelle is she being able to maintain her neutral spine position from being in supine. So again, when we think about that, we don't want to be overly imprinted unless we tell the client that we want them to be overly imprinted, and we don't want them overly arched either. We want to have that nice halfway position where it feels very gentle and relaxed in her position. So as she's going, I'm even going to have you maintain contact with my hands here. So now you feel the difference is basically I am having her work through her ankles and her calves even further at this point, where we don't want to see the movement of the feet, because this is really common. This is what your clients are going to want to do. Good. Go ahead and come right back in again. Perfect. So that is a really nice way to come in and give a hands-on correction to your client as you are teaching. Even if you are teaching in a group environment, it's really easy to kind of navigate your way through the room and just simply go ahead and have them pretend like they are pressing their hands up against a wall to prevent them from actually rocking on their ankles here. Okay, so from here, we're gonna go down to parallel toes. So she's gonna shift down to her toes, and I'm gonna have you lift your heels up for me. Good. So we're in this nice high-heeled position. So this is actually going to make this exercise a little bit more challenging because she has more distance to work through. So on your next breath here, Rochelle, I'm gonna have you press out to 2 straight legs, hold it right there. And I want you to really think about maintaining the elevation of your heels as you bend your knees and return back in again. Beautiful. And again, exhale. Equal weight distribution is what we're looking for. So we wanna identify how she is pressing in through all of her metatarsals here of her toes. And we can see already how she is beginning to shake through her ankles as well, which means that we know that she is getting the work done here. How is this tension feeling for you? Good. Okay, hold it right there for a second. I have her again, like I said, on 3.25 springs. So it's like a more of a medium, not super heavy weight right now, but it should be a comfortable weight for her. And the muscle focus, like I said, is gonna be on the quads and the hamstrings because of the heavier springs that we have on. But let's just say that we did less springs on this, because again, there is no right or wrong with the springs. It's going to change the complete muscle focus that's happening here. So I'm gonna lower the weight, and I'm going to lower it down just by taking off one spring. So I just took off that one red spring. And so because it's lighter, I don't want you to push out as fast. So I want you to go more intentionally as you press out, really identifying through the abdominal muscles and really dragging the body to come in. So this changes a lot of the muscle focus. Again, she has to really facilitate this movement pattern using her abdominal muscles. So we are basically concentrically pressing out and eccentrically pulling back in again. So we're working through those muscles as we shorten and lengthen them. And she's doing a really good job with keeping her ankles up nice and high. Good. Okay. So again, I want to make sure that you guys understand too the differences between the springs as we go through the muscle focuses of actually targeting the legs, where she's going to feel that with a heavier spring load. And if we reduce the tension, all of a sudden this muscle focus has changed more into her abdominal muscles. The purpose is still all the same because we are still working on the alignment of the knees, the ankles, and the hips here too. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to add on, just to get us back into our tension. So we're going to go heels together, toes apart. So she's in her Pilates V, her first position, and I'm looking at her knees are going to be in line with her shoulders here. Pressing down firmly with your palms, inhale to prepare, exhale, we press out. So she's activating through her inner thighs, since that is what this muscle focus is going to be on, through her adductors. So I'm going to have you slow your speed down a tad there, Rochelle. And I really want her to think about pressing together firmly her heels so that not one heel is doing more work than the other. And then this way, she is identifying more through her inner thighs. This is where we want to cue pelvic floor. So again, if we think about the 4 components of the core, pelvic floor has to be used in order to regain core strength here. Beautiful, come right back in. Again, I like to think about, depending on your client, depending on like what their personal goals are, is anywhere, I think 8 to 10 repetitions is pretty common. It's a nice default. So we like to basically take it from there because we have so many variations. So we're gonna take you up nice and wide. So she's coming up to her heels in a wide second position. She's gonna be flexed again. And because she is on this wider stance, I am lining her back up with her shoulders. So we have to be really careful if we're working with a dancer who has someone who has a lot of like hip mobility. They're going to want to be in a turned out position a lot. So that is going to be our job, to really focus on using the inner thighs to promote pelvic stability here. So from that being said, go ahead and press out, and then slowly resisting the carriage as you pull back in. So again, I'm going to go back to my hands right here. So keep that contact with my hands so that you are working through your ankles and your calves. Good. Nice and slow here. And I'm going to continue to talk, because what I want to again identify is she still maintaining neutral position here? So again, really close in through those ribs. I want you to focus on pressing using your abdominal muscles and less out of your legs here. And that's what we want to teach our clients, is basically how do we explain that this is not being facilitated by the legs, but it's actually being facilitated using our core. And that's where all that breath comes into play too. Beautiful. Last time. And come right back in. Okay. And so then let's go ahead and shift you down to your toes. And then now she's in her wide V position on her toes. Heels are elevated. Again, I'm looking at where her knee placement is. Inhale to prepare here, and exhale, just knitting the ribs back together. Again, this is on her toes, so she has a longer distance. So it is going to feel more challenging. But she is doing a good job applying equal pressure through her feet again. And that's what we're paying attention to. She's nice and soft through her neck and her shoulders. And you also just like want to remind them about their facial expressions, because a lot of times, it's true, like people tend to tense up as they're beginning to work, and we want to put that attention back into internal awareness. Again, we're trying to bring in all of the principles of Pilates together. Perfect. Again, we're not trying to do 10 repetitions of each at this point, okay. But no, that's okay. But I just want you guys to know that we would typically do anywhere from about 8 to 10 repetitions. Okay, how are we feeling?
Good.
Okay,